Hey guys, Tarp here bringing you a 1v1 today. We're on Lost Glider, playing for today spawning in the south. We have Paul playing as COH2 in his loadout. Oh, immediately locking into Firestorm here. Also starting things out with a COH2. Interesting, he's bringing that out onto the right hand side. Same with the stern pyros. This one feeds him in the north. We have, this is, most people know him as Cheesetonkatsu. He streams under Marshmallow Milk on Twitch. Playing as US Forces, who has Urban Assault, Infantry, and Tactical Support. In terms of rankings, Paul currently rank 3 as COH2, and Cheese is currently rank 9 as US Forces, so very high ranking affair this one. On a map we don't see in tournaments either, Lost Glider. I do kind of enjoy this map. Not a lot of people hate it, but I'm not a hater. Like it's a nice change of pace compared to a lot of the different tournament maps we see. One of Cheese's experienced Paul before. Paul, you know, pretty well known for blubbing and early aggression. Cheese with a very concentrated effort, much more than you usually see on this side of the map. Could even get the wipe here, a little bit of negative cover. Starts to chase a tiny bit late. Close call, very close call for Paul. Two guys trying to linger, but they also get chased away by the double rifles. So yeah, looks like Cheese expecting this kind of play from Paul. Had all his army on this side ready to defend and fends them off quite nicely. I think the key there was that Paul took a little bit too much damage on the COH2 straight out the gate, so he couldn't really use it super effectively for the rest of the fight. And now Cheese getting some capping done. Should have superior resource control thanks to that start. Also pull down a bit. I've been trying out Firestorm myself recently, not with super amounts of success. With the Kubel as well. Double stern pyros. One for the sweeper, one for the flamer. Haven't cracked the code on it yet though. Good little aggressive push forwards there from Cheese. While Paul's on the road. Good to get that aggression in. For the second time round. Too low in health. Paul is capping up quite nicely though with that Kubel and getting some repairs on that now as well. But she's already got the lieutenant, already got a 50 cal in the works, so in a really comfortable position after that pretty strong start. Still isn't locked into a commander though. Got two Calliope commanders and the priest, so I imagine we're going to be seeing some form of indirect fire from those commanders this game. Okay, against the folks. There's one coming around. There's a blind side on that side of the building. See if Cheese can fight his way across to that side without taking too much in terms of losses. No, stern pyros coming in. And there goes those units. The wagon jumped on top of the fuel, but then neutralized. Be careful, that Lieutenant can spit out some pretty good damage with the Thompson against the COH2. You can see it's dropping fast here, Paul a little bit slow on the micro. Does get away though. 50 cal meanwhile suppressing the squad. Does manage to get the neutralized and breaks the suppression. Ran out of range. Okay, COH2 trying to escape. We've got two riflemen trying to intercept. Can it squeeze through that gap? It can. Rifleman, no. Not going to get the kill. And the lieutenant in some trouble. Nearly goes down, maybe with a slightly better chase on the stern post. Oh my god! Well, there you go. Didn't even need a slightly better chase. And you get like that. So, wow, all of a sudden Cheese could be in a bit of trouble here. There's the lieutenant. We see PauL gone for a very aggressive early start here. On top of the Kubel, gone for 4 Folks. Rebuilding the lieutenant. Okay, that's an interesting decision at this stage. Probably will slow down a Stewart if he chooses to go for that though. It has techs the second stage of... You know, he's only 5 fuel away from the Stewart, but alright. Maybe it won't. By much at least. Does kind of need ambulance, so got a lot of low health units, but once again that would also slow down the Stewart, so might not do that as well. We do have PauL with his truck out now, but his tech's a little bit late coming through. Got this many units in the early game will slow your tech down quite a lot, and for the Opal Blitz as well for the healing. For a bit of repair and cap on the cutoff there. Meanwhile, PauL getting aggressive, going for Cheese's cutoff. Doesn't quite get the neutralize in time though. Have to cal come around the corner, but it looks like it was a bit too far back to actually shoot at it there. And here we go, Stewart coming in for Cheese. With the flamer, okay. Pulling the trigger on that flamethrower upgrade. Pretty strong on this map, you know, there are quite a few buildings all across the map and quite a lot of heavy cover positions as well, so flame is very strong on this map. And up against US forces, you know, maybe you can get away without the sweeper if you're not up against rifle and field defenses. Send your grenade in so the Fox can try and win that engagement. There we go, stand by flame coming forwards. Pretty quick dodge, but he still took a pretty big burst from it. Nice retreat. Got the ambo in the works. Stewart coming around the corner. Wow, PauL actually going for battle group. I was not expecting that. Usually combined with Firestorm, you go for mechanized. I mean, that's half the reason to go for Firestorm. Get the Opal Blitz out as a pseudo ambulance, so you don't have to take battle group. Curious choice to go for the battle group. I feel like battle group is reasonably strong on this map. You know, you can park an infantry support gun or two around here, cover a huge region of the map. Can be pretty powerful. But yeah, it does mean that the Stewart's going to be very strong in this game. Without a Puma to keep it in check. And it is a bit of a tricky map for anti-tank guns. You know, there's a lot of walls, a lot of shock blockers all across the map. So, could be tricky to deal with this Stewart. At the moment though, Cheese with a comfortable amount of territory control. We can keep that going. I'm going to have to jump out of the building. I mean, if he was planning to go for one of those two commanders with the M1919s, now would be the time. You can see your rifleman starting to drop off a bit now that PauL's got his weapon upgrades coming through. So it's a good time for the M1919s. 4.5 command points. I mean, he could have already had them out for a decent amount of time at this stage. We're trying to get aggressive, trying to go for the fuel point again. Has the Raketman support, connects once, but the 50 cal there, suppressing the infantry squads, covers the fuel quite nicely. At the same time, Cheese on the other side of the map capping up PauL's side. So PauL's aggression not really working out for him again. Oh, and now going hunting for the Kugelwagen. Kugelwagen has a bad retreat path there. Stuart missing the killing blow though. Disengaged slightly too early. Kugelwagen gets out of there alive. Close call. Pretty lucky for PauL there. I mean, it was reasonably safe there for Cheese to chase in because he did just force the retreat on the Red Kit not that long ago. Maybe the reposition on it at least. Felt like the wave was clear there, but maybe he got cold feet. Oh, this is going to be a pretty aggressive square positioning here. Looking to cover the whole fuel point with it. We'll leave it exposed though later in the game. Especially if you're up against like infantry company with the priest with the time on target. A little bit of a risky position on it there. Generally I try to put it just here, covering the cutoff most situations. No, sometimes like the same story as what PauL's doing here. If I'm going for a no light vehicle build, I try and hunt a bit more aggressively. Stuart meanwhile getting the damage done. Gets rid of quite a lot of cover there for these folks, and they ultimately have to retreat. PauL doesn't have much munitions. Not willing to throw out an incendiary grenade there. Start the upgrade for the Panzer authorization just now. Getting setting up. Connecting. Oh boy, going to get the Faust off. Stuart behind the building though. So he's going to try to continue the chase. Foxtrinity's out on negative cover, I think, at least for a couple models. Dropping quite fast. Stuart trying to get around behind the building. Raketen coming in. Setting up, but does get behind the building in the nick of time. And yeah, that squad out there on the road getting chopped up quite quickly by the barred up lieutenant. So it is bars for Cheese, so not even 1919s. Maybe you're going to go for urban assault then. Yep, Cheese does have the major in the works.
A capture point.
I know. He has a bit more fuel than PauL as well, so probably going to win the race towards the first medium tank this game. But yeah, now with the bars on the rifleman, they will fight back so much more effectively against these DG folks. Looks like he's only single equipped most of the squads though. Does still have a decent amount of munitions in reserve.
Orders. Listen up. Crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured. Battalion just released.
Oh, okay. He went for bazookas on the rear echelon as well. I was wondering. I was like, yeah, he had some more munitions, but yeah, bazooka REs to keep these Stuarts safe. Maybe he doesn't have a good read on how much fuel PauL has, because as we can see, PauL still about 100 away from a medium tank. About 3 minutes before he needs to worry about getting an anti-tank. So perhaps a little bit unnecessary, and does mean that, you know, he doesn't have quite as many bars as he could at this stage.
A capture point is under attack.
PauL looking to get aggressive onto the fuel point once again, this time bringing out the Raketen. Getting some sandbags down right at max range there. Getting coming around the corner. So he takes a hit. Does manage to knock down the sandbags though. And only take one shot worth of damage on the Stuart, which is nice for Cheese. Got some Obers out now though for PauL. And this is when things start to become a little bit tricky as US forces. Especially once they hit Vet 2. I always say it, man, but such a turning point once those overs hit Vet 2. Until that point, your barred up rifles can kind of fight back, but after that point, oof. Just getting eaten for lunch. Come back in, fully repaired. Takes one shot, circling around. No Faust from Paul over here though, maybe trying to micro over here. So Stuart pulling away. Oof. Big shot there from the Stuart. Could even lose this. Bring in the rifleman with the bars, looking for the wipe here.
Cut our supply line. Frontline units are being hung out to dry. The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Very close call. Sure can repair it up. Oh, just jumping into the building next to the cutoff. We've got double 50 cals there. That LMG getting some nasty bursts in. Double bar rifles against the Sternpie Flamers.
Artillery batteries are armed and ready to fire.
Oh, late retreat from Paul again, man. He's cutting it really close with these retreats. She's going for the chase down, and this time they do get wiped. Squad through the center also get wiped though by the overs inside the building. So 1 for 1 there. Sternpie's, he's got plenty of manpower to rebuild them, so it's not a huge loss. Sherman first for Cheese. So Paul's he has a pretty good territory control over the last minute and a half or so. Not too far behind. Sure, chasing in here. More, a little bit of damage. And he gets it. And disengaging before the flak base takes him down. Really nicely done there by Cheese. 50s through the center, just softening up the squad behind the sandbags.
A capture point is under attack.
Gagey getting chased off. Paul looking to get aggressive, and he's kind of not using the Kubelwagen on the front lines anymore, just using it to back cap areas. Conservative stuff, and good idea at this phase of the game when it can go down so easily to either Stuart or the Sherman. In the battlefield now. But yeah, as you see, the Panzer IV not too far behind. Oh boy. The 50s are maybe on an A move there or something. And flanked by the Sternpies. We're keeping connecting with the Stuart. Oh, missing the second shot though. Actually Sherman on the far flank meanwhile. Going to work. Does have the machine gun upgrading as well. Connecting with the Sherman once. Twice now actually, up to Vet 2. There's a 4 coming across, looking to get aggressive. Connecting with the Stuart. Stuart pops the shell shock. Blinding. He's got the bazooka REs coming forward. Switching rounds on the Sherman as well. Sherman missing. Panzer IV gets cold feet. Decides to disengage a little bit. No. Staying in there looking to bleed the bazookas as they approach, bouncing the shot there. Big shot on the RE Zooks. Cheese decides to get out of there after that. A reasonably aggressive repair position here. Could get caught out from this angle, but alright. He's got to split his double 50s up a bit, I think. Using them together, I'm not too sure about this. Sternpie's repairing up. Paul got the infantry awareness active on the Kubelwagen. Maybe Paul gonna look for a bit of intercept from the lieutenant. Hasn't upgraded any of his Fox Grenadiers with MP40 package though, so doesn't have any like HE grenades to throw into the retreat path of the lieutenant. So not a super risky loss of the lieutenant. Yeah. Second squad of Ogres coming in now for PauL.a.D, upgrading them with LMGs. And yeah, it is indeed going to be Urban Assault. Upgrading the Dozer Blade on the Sherman now. And of course we're going to have access to the Calliope later on though. He has actually side-ticked out to the captain at this stage. I'm going to get himself out an anti-tank gun in the meantime. So this is the safest way to go about things, so it will just obviously slow down your Calliope by a long way. It's equipped a major with bazookas as well, but a few weapons there. So the Sherman's particularly with all these haystacks and whatnot. Not with the squads for quite some time there. Major already dropped on the building. This shell way off target though, even though PauL didn't dodge until super late. Doesn't take almost any damage from that. AT gun sitting up. And bouncing its first shell. Jimbo's trying to plant a mine on the flank, but interrupted by the barred up rifleman there. Sherman coming across. So again, an upgrade with the Dozer Blade is a lot safer. Looks just like you go down. That is also a bit slower. So double 50s on the far flank, just trying to hold the territory over there. Interesting. Touches out of the building just in the nick of time there. Stuart meanwhile coming into the centre, trying to split PauL's attention a bit here. Looks like Cheese going to destroy that building. He's had enough of that position. Doesn't want PauL to be able to use it against him anymore. Very low on health actually. Maybe he wants to leave as a bit of a honey pot. So if PauL jumps in it, we'll go down to 1 or 2 shots. 50 cal in the building, working out nicely there for Cheese on the far side. PauL really needs to send his tank over there. Speaking of tanks, right around the amount of fuel he needs to get another one. And the Stuart hits one of those mines PauL was planting. Jumps out though, it looks like he's going to go for the emergency repairs. Panzer IV coming over here and fast. Double bazookas. Oh, big shot from the Panzer IV. Rear echelon dropping 3 models to 1 shell there. Yeah, Stuart does get away safely. He's trying to sneak his way in here. Grenade coming in.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
And so is the Panzer IV. Could even get the wipe here. A little bit late start in the retreat. Panzer IV's gun facing the wrong direction. Maybe with slightly better execution, he could have got the kill there. Another major arty into the building. But here comes the Calliope now for Cheese. See what he can get done with it. So he's going for the building, I think. Late dodge from PauL. Jumps out now. Does survive. Tiga coming into the centre for Cheese now. Pops the AP ammo as well. Connecting with the Panzer IV. Kitten going after the Stuart. Connects for 1 hit. 2 BARD squads coming out to the far side. 50 cal heading over. Well, I mean, heading over to the building. 50 cal repels. And HE Sherman over here now. Do have the Rakitten, but it's a little bit far away. Maybe should have been brought across to support this push. Probably would have still had to retreat there, but could have maybe got 2 more hits in there. Hopefully started to vet up this PauL's second Rakitten. And kind of interesting, he did go for a second Rakitten. Makes me think he's maybe going to go for Obers, but I'm going to enter retreat. Lieutenant this time does go down. That's exactly what I was talking about. Now he's got the Obers up there in the retreat path. Squad down. Another major AD onto that building. Interesting that he wants to kill the building so badly. I feel like they're kind of in his advantage at the moment. He's got 250 cals, very strong, putting them inside building, and PauL doesn't have any indirect fire to help deal with those. Would have to send his tank over there, really. So I feel like it's a little bit strange for the building to see it killed by Cheese, but alright. And yet PauL going for his next truck. Looks like it's going to be a King Tiger for him. And Cheese, after losing that squad, is right around the pop cap. He could just about squeeze into Jackson. Barrage coming down now. Now, one of the reasons why I prefer tactical support to urban assault is that, you know, when facing off against the King Tiger, pop the recon plane and use your Jackson at 60 range against it. Makes it so much easier to deal with. You can see there are kittens coming as well. Just, yeah, so much easier to deal with the King Tiger if you're playing with tactical support compared to this one. Okay, Stuart coming in for a point blank engine shot. Yeah, there we go. Engine damage on the Panzer IV. Sherman's coming down here as well. And Stuart gets away alive. That's incredible stuff. PauL doesn't have... okay, he does have a Rakitten, but it's very deep. And that is enough to keep the Panzer IV safe. She's sticking around though for an extra shot there, forcing back the Obers. Trying to maximise his value. PauL was a bit slow, you know, didn't push forwards with the Rakitten at all to go and meet that threat of the Sherman. But yeah, good support play, bringing out the Rakitten. Nice to see point blank engine shot. Very rare to see, but pretty cool ability. Wow, Cheese going for Rangers. Is he going to go for a triple Zook Rangers? I feel like at this stage he doesn't really need Rangers for anti-infantry. He's got Sherman he can just leave on high explosive. He's got the Calliope. I feel like that should be his main form of anti-infantry. But maybe he felt like he needed an extra squad. He did also lose the captain not too long ago, top of the lieutenant. Maybe feels like he's just a little bit low on infantry. Oh, Panzer IV coming through. And then exiting, the bazookas, seeing to that. Long range Calliope, but does get the wipe on the Rakitten. And Stuart coming in behind this, looking to do some damage. Bazooka on the ground. Sherman getting repaired over here. Stuart's going to take a Faust. No, disappeared. The Faust just disappeared. Nice. Tries to make a dash over to the Rakitten, but denied. Second Rakitten coming in now. Sherman quite low, but I think it would survive one more Rakitten shot because he did repair up a tiny bit, and he's got the extra health on it from that Dozer Blade upgrade. And PauL just about there for the King Tiger. Looks like Cheese actually going to pick up the Rakitten. Okay.
Okay, fire away.
And go for a Jackson at the same time. I feel like he's not going to quite have enough room as PopCap, but maybe he'll be able to, you know, decrew a tank and go above 100. Here comes the big boy for PauL. KT on the battlefield now. Cheese does have a decent composition to deal with this, but KT I feel like it's still pretty strong against US forces specifically. Maybe be a bit easier to deal with once your re-echelon cheap reinforced. You can kind of use them for scouting, not bleed such a huge amount of manpower just trying to keep sight on the King Tiger. This is a big issue. If you don't have a doctrine providing you sight, the King Tiger will bleed you pretty hard while you're trying to maintain sight on it to do damage with your anti-tank sources. Okay, Sherman. Doing some cheeky maneuvers. There's a falling support now. The Rakitten through the centre though. And just hit 2 on one of his overs. And 1.5 on the other. This is when it can be really tricky as US forces, but in this case we do have the difference maker, the Calliope. Very good at wiping these squads. There he goes into the centre. With the dodge. Doesn't take too much damage. It was a, you know, not super close range shot there on the Calliope. Did give PauL a little bit more time to react.
The enemy is overrunning
He
one of our
dodged
capture points.
nicely because of it. You know, one of the real strengths of the Calliope is because it's got 400 health.
300.
Can't afford to drive it in a bit closer. It takes one shot from a tank. It doesn't really matter too much. Even the King Tiger won't one-shot it. Can afford to go for those point blank shots a bit more aggressively. Jackson through the centre. Yeah, squad try and go for the capture for Cheese in the centre. Unsuccessful. Dropping some major RD down somewhere. MG inside the building, having to jump out, getting very low as well. Shooting through the centre. Coming back out. Double rifles against the ogres, outnumbering them there. Stuart sent out to the far side. Maybe going to use the vehicle crew to cap the VPs. VP's very close at the moment. Pops the phosphorus on the Rakitten. And Rakitten retreating behind that. You can see how strong phosphorus is on that high DPS. Jackson coming in now. The Rakitten coming across as well for Cheese. Is that a squad down? Ooh, on retreat, KT sniping it off long range. But so far, Cheese's anti-tank gun positioning, I haven't been terribly impressed by it. It hasn't been super effective against the King Tiger. Looks like he actually did not end up capping that far point. There's the shoe mine down there as well. Gonna send the Rakitten in to do the capping in the centre. Did keep the Sherman alive though. PauL did have the option of just staying in the phosphorus. It can't kill. It'll get you super low. And go for an attack round to try and finish the job on the Sherman, but did decide to retreat instead. And a Calliope barrage this time on the Panzer HQ. I don't like that either. Did get one though. And just running in to the mine there. And the kitten doesn't look like it's going to make it out alive. Sherman coming through. We've got the AT gun and the Jackson there blasting away. Very long range with the take aim. Almost lost the Panzer IV. Fires off the phosphorus there, but wasn't in range of the Rakitten, so it doesn't force that away either. Well, looks like Rakitten's going to maybe run into it a bit. Anyway, Stuart coming in, maybe going to look for another point-blank engine shot, but he doesn't actually have the munitions for it. Maybe just a bit of a diversion there. Rakitten did spin around. Oh wow, that went down all the way back there to the Obus. Ouch. losses. The bleed starting to stack up a bit here for Cheese. KT dishing out the pain, combining with the overs. Okay, goes for a recrew on the Raketen. Oh no, it doesn't get out of there. That incendiary grenade stacking up just enough damage to stop the retreat. And Cheese trying to go for these frontal repairs, but he's having to jump back in his tanks reactively. This is quite stressful. PauL actually killing that decrewed Raketen as well. PauL has a bit of room in his army left as well. Squeeze in one more unit of some description, maybe not a tank, but one more squad or a support weapon. I imagine it would be Folks or a over squad. Only has 2 Folks at the moment, so another squad could help with the snares. And a second Jackson coming in for Cheese, and I believe this will take him above 100. He's losing his infantry fast as well. Yep, highly vetted overs, bleeding him like crazy. And this is where you have to be a bit more conservative with your Calliope barrages. Really target them on infantry rather than going for buildings.
Krauts are taking one of our points.
Going through the center. Jackson getting some shots on. Bouncing that one though.
Tank destroyer is ready for action.
2 Jacksons now though. Indeed, he is going to be quite far above 100 to 106. Won't be able to reinforce his squads he's got back here either while this is going on. But it looks like he's mobilizing. It looks to do some damage here, maybe isolate something, but the King Tiger quite defensively positioned at the moment. Maybe he's hoping to like bait KT out of position and then swoop him with the double Jacksons. Could be an idea as well to keep the Stuart from an interesting angle and try to come in with a point blank engine shot from some direction. Fires off the phosphorus shell, forces back the Raketen there. Oh, double Jackson's coming out to the far side. They spot PauL planting this mine down here. But PauL actually manages to finish it.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Ready, set.
Jackson's not in position, so KT could do some damage here. PauL's a little bit slow bringing it forwards, and now Jackson's coming back through the center. Pairing up these tanks, does manage to squeeze in a little bit more reinforcement during that time as well. Okay, PauL going for a Puma to finish out his army composition here. Showing on the far flank. PauL with a lot of mines on the flanks. Really good idea at this stage. Shut down those potential Jackson pushes. So Cheese mobilizing full speed onto this other side. Panzer IV is very far forwards. This could be trouble for PauL. And PauL quite late bringing back the Panzer IV and bringing it in front of the building as well. Looks like the Jackson's not on prioritized vehicles though, firing some shots at his Sternfires instead, so that gets away without almost any headaches. He took a scratch there. Up into the center. Not hitting too much again. So after a somewhat promising start for the Calliope, the last 3 or 4 barrages I got like 1 or 2 more kills, really bad. And Cheese starting to lose his grip on the game because of that. PauL just solidifying his position here. And you think when, you know, he's this dug in that Calliope would work out really well, but it's not been the case. And Booby trapping the centre now. PauL with plenty of munitions, might as well. Still has enough in reserve for a rocket barrage. Might want to drop that on an anti-tank gun during a hectic engagement. She's also with a decent amount of munition spare. At this stage, if he had a couple more squads, I'd maybe suggest going for the grenade upgrade.
Allied AT gun has been destroyed.
Doesn't have too many squads that can really make use of that though at the moment. And there we go, dropping the Stuka rocket barrage. The decrewed anti-tank gun, it gets outright destroyed. Double Jackson's mobilizing. They have to be careful. Could get flanked potentially by these 2 tanks hiding behind the tree line here. Okay, recon plane coming in from the major. I think that's a really good idea. And there we go. Sweepers coming forward, spot all those mines. Double Jackson's going hunting for Puma. Missing a crucial shot there though. Might be able to take down the Kubu-Wagen or a bit of rubber band action. No, he loses sight of it. Calliope into the center here. Getting in trouble. Gets decrewed. Squad behind the sandbags hold their line though. And there we go, the booby track goes off, forces that away. Sherman coming in. Oh, and he loses a squad going for the recruit there. That was super risky on that amount of health. Double Jackson's through the center as well, pounding the King Tiger. Going for the kill on the decrewed Rakit now, though PauL does have plenty of resources in reserve, so it doesn't really matter too much to him outside of losing veterancy. And he swept up a good chunk of the mines, but not all of them.
That's it. Point's ours. We're back to full strength.
But she's in control of the VPs, and now PauL actually getting behind in the VP game. Looks like he's going to go for a Jagdpanzer now after losing that squad. That squad and that Rakitten. So there's a lot of anti-tank firepower for PauL.
Reinforcements in. Welcome to the death
He'll be quite strong against these Jacksons. Jacksons haven't vetted up like a huge amount yet.
crew ready.
So it's good for the Jagdpanzer. If you try and bring like a Vet 0 Jagdpanzer in against the highly vetted Jacksons, that's when you can find yourself in some trouble.
Back to full strength. A capture point is under attack.
Bring in the Stuart. Panzer IV gets cold feet, maybe worried about the Jackson follow-up. Jackson's decrewed in the centre at the moment. And he's trying to squeeze in a third Jackson to his composition, going to be way above 100 once that arrives. And that's going to be the answer to PauL's current tactics. Really, the answer needs to be the Calliope, though. He needs to get more wipes with that Calliope. Finish off PauL's infantry. That'll open things up quite a lot for him.
Point is being overrun.
See, oh, here we go. Stuart going down. Microing an army this large, though, is very tricky. There we go. King Tiger and Panzer IV getting aggressive, looking to get something done here. Going after the ambulance with the Puma, although he's got the bazookas there to help repel. AT grenade connects, but it's not quite enough damage. Sherman getting kind of aggressive here, still on high explosive though. Could be okay against the Puma. And the Obers that are over here. And he loses his rifleman. Obers looking for the wipe. Don't quite get it. Looks like the LMG had to reload at that particular time. A lucky break for Cheese. Tikal through the center against the Kubel. Dropping the rocket on that, forcing the retreat. Calliope coming in a long range into the center, but not hitting too much. Rockets aplenty dropping in the center, but not doing much from either side. Now this is what I was talking about. You know, try and provide sight for your Jacksons to fire on the King Tiger in the meantime. Just ripping your infantry to shreds. Does manage to come through for that one last shot though. Nice touch. Now Sherman through the center. On HE, bleeding hard. Panzer in the wrong place to assist. Seems sorry for the Puma, a little bit late arriving to support, and Cheese disengaging at just the right time, didn't take any damage there. Decrewing his Jacksons now for repairs. He's going to have 3 Jacksons now. Interesting, he's actually crushing all of the shrubs in the front of his base. I don't know if that's good for him, given how PauL likes to charge in for those ambulance kills, but alright. A bit of a blind spot on the base here as well. Well, in control of the VPs, but still a little bit behind. And he has plenty of resources to spare. Probably, if he could build a munitions cache at this stage, he would. The pins are going to work, but Sherman with the extra bit of armor, bouncing a shot there, gets cold feet on that Faust. You can see he's about to fire it off. Interrupts it for the retreat. Sherman. Oh, here comes the armored train. This Panzer IV could be in some trouble. Got the Puma over here in support, but that's it. That's not enough for 3 Jacksons and the Sherman. Jackson's missing though. Missing quite a lot. Well, there goes the Puma. Panzer IV is going to be next. Panzer IV popping the Blitz, trying to get out. Jackson's moving in for the chase now. Panzer IV's rear armor exposed. Black Panzer coming across. Oh my god! Okay, I was going to say he got super lucky he didn't go down there, but the last Jackson shot connecting. Black Panzer coming in though. Triple Jacksons could be in some trouble, and the Jagdpanzer hitting Vet 2 at a really good timing. Takes down one of them, gets the bonus health thanks to that Vet 2. Sherman switching over to armor piercing, but now the King Tiger's over here in support. And down goes the Sherman. Does take down the Jagdpanzer though. KT with the turret a little bit slow. Spinning around, allowing the Jacksons a bit of time to maneuver. Oh boy, this one though getting hung up on the other one. Oh man, even with the high velocity armor piercing rounds equipped, a lot of shells bouncing off the KT there. Bazooka RE's coming across to support, but he's coming back in with the Jacksons. He's feeling bold because he knows the Jagdpanzer is down. Got to be very careful on this range. Jackson's connecting, dishing out the pain. KT on the run now. Got another Panzer IV in the works for PauL. Jackson's continuing the aggression here. And Calliope going for the VP. We're actually dodging forwards, trying to still maintain some VP pressure though.
Gun crew just got wiped out.
Oh, what was that? 50 cal. Goes down to the Obers maybe. Highly vetted Obers, you know, on all this light cover now. Very prone to getting frontal decrews on your machine guns. Maybe that's where the crew formation changes will make a big difference in that kind of exact scenario, but not yet. Actually hasn't happened yet. KT pulls back to the repair station of the mechanized. Looks like did he cancel the Panzer IV? Must have done.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Yeah. I say unless he like built it and then lost it immediately. But I think it's a better choice to go for the Jagdpanzer, honestly, up against these Jacksons.
Contact reports show the Americans are at 200 points.
Maybe you could also do with the support of a Raketen.
Ready for action.
Plenty of manpower to go for that with, though, you know, Clipe is very good against Raketans. Mine triggers, but only drops one model there.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
And a fresh Sherman now for Cheese.
Our supply line's cut. Germans are making a push.
Get some bleed going. One of the real strengths that we almost never see players make use of in this commander is create barrier. These late game scenarios where you want to like cap on the VPs, just bring your dozer Sherman forwards and putting some cover from that create barrier on your side is really helpful. I find if you don't have rifleman sandbags, it's one way to get heavy cover in the late game, which I find quite helpful. Wow, he jumped out of the building, but didn't, like, he ran behind it instead of coming out this side. He ends up getting wiped by the Calliope anyway. So PauL rebuilding that lost Oba now. Did drop the LMG down there, so if he knows that he dropped it,
Tactical point being captured.
could potentially get double LMG Obas, which would be super nasty. Both his Obas in the center though, and he ran right past it, so maybe he didn't notice. No Cheese, still after those wipes, struggling a bit for territory, is slightly ahead in the VP game though. Oh boy, Jagdpanzer completely unsupported. Double Jacksons and the Sherman just annihilated there. That's some sloppy stuff from PauL. Just no spotters for it at all, just nothing, no support. And just like that, PauL's lead, a lot of his resources in the bank have evaporated. And his lead is not quite so large in that department, and he's still behind on VPs. Had a lot of trouble with this building over here with a machine gun inside it. Yeah, it looks like he's just completely unawares to that LMG down there. It's going through the center. KT back for some repairs here. Oh, Oba's coming down now. Maybe he's noticed it now. Double Obas over here into the retreat path of the rear echelon. Sherman though coming in, try and protect the rear echelon's retreat. Late retreat. Okay, there it goes on that two-man squad. Oh man, the HE Sherman going to town here. Popping off models left and right. Support of Jackson somewhat nearby, but not super close. Here comes the KT. Oh yep, they got the double LMGs now. Look at how fast they chew through those ranges. Triple cap against PauL now. Ticking under 100. He's got to get something going now. He's going for triple Raketans now. Okay. Calliope is at V2 though, so it's got pretty fast cooldown now and is very effective against Raketans.
We're losing a capture point.
I'm surprised he's choosing to spend literally all of his manpower on that instead of getting like one more tank. Climb into the center, but Obas have already evacuated the area. And Jackson's going to work on the KT. KT up to 28 kills now, has been doing pretty well. I mean, that's more kills than Calliope, and Calliope's been on the field for longer.
Capture point is under attack. Dealing with the MG.
Comes forward for a cheeky shot. Good phosphorus into the center there from the Sherman. Look at how fast it's melting those Obas.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture
Attack rounds through the smoke though. Those on the retreat. Raketin coming into the center now, but PauL really should have at least one Raketin over here escorting it earlier than this. And now he's coming back in with the King Tiger when it's already a little bit low. He's got support of one Raketen now, but... Oh, man. Oh, did he lose the main gun right as it was firing there? That was interesting. Second Raketen in here now. Calliope just about ready to fire. He's in a relatively good position for a tight scatter barrage as well. The VP battle rages on though. And yeah, once again trying to repair on the front lines, getting interrupted by the infantry, but good did he notice that though. It would be a real shame to lose his Vet 3 crew. That Jackson, he's managed to squeeze in another Jackson, so he's going to have 3 of them again. And that's kind of somewhat playing into PauL's hands with the triple Raketens though. Oh boy, those Obers. Double LMG Obers. Echelon didn't stand a chance. And that actually could help PauL again if he manages to plant a bunch more mines down again. Got the Echelon for the sweepers this time. Cheese draining down, but he's still got 150 remaining. He's got a bit in the gas tank yet. A lot of repairs going on back at his base. He's got almost no infantry to cap with though. That's a bit of a hurdle for him. PauL should maybe try to spread out a little bit more against the potential Calliope, but alright, at least he's got somewhat of a split. Calliope ready to fire, and has been for quite some time. Going in the major recon pass now, all his tanks are ready to rumble. Let's see what he can get done here. Okay, spots those Raketens, I imagine. After you see a recon plane like that though, you have to expect and be ready to dodge a Calliope barrage. In this case, Calliope barrage on the double Raketens that were quite clumps. Some extremely low, but it looks like they're both going to get away alive. PauL is trying to plant one of those mines again, like I said. Oh, but the HE Sherman blasting away, then late retreat, no retreat. Oh, this very, very last second. Wagon goes down as well, finally going to lose that detection. Pulling a major PauL.A.D over here. KT a little bit isolated from the Raketens after that Calliope barrage, and the triple Jackson's pouncing on him right now. Raketens coming out from base. Can the KT's armor hold until then? Oh, he's taking a pounding. Jackson pulling back. One of them goes down. But that's it. And the King Tiger goes down. Good execution on that assault from Cheese. Found the double Raketens. Forcing away with the Calliope, then charged in. The other Raketen was kind of firing against the Sherman, couldn't assist against the Jackson swarm. No mines over here, had been triggered a long time ago. Or was trying to replant them to his credit, but not in time. LMG went down there as well. Wonder if that was from the double LMG overs. Went down to one model and dropped the LMG. Kind of looks like it. So yeah, good execution, but still PauL holds on to the VPs. She's on the drain. But this time PauL doesn't have very much to rebuild with. He's going to go for another Jagdpanzer. I think at this stage, honestly, he could probably just not go for a tank. Up against triple Jacksons. It's not a huge point. He's already got the triple Raketens. So using them in a cluster like this is quite risky against the Calliope, though. Of course, it did just fire, so a bit safer to do that at this immediate time. Recollects that second LMG there. Quick reactions though from Cheese, retreating, and doesn't take too much bleed on retreat there. Another Sherman coming in for Cheese though, so maybe he does have to go for the Jagdpanzer. deal with the mass armor. It's, you know, somewhat of a tricky map though for the Jagdpanzer. You know, there's a decent area through the center, but trying to play on the flanks with it can be very, very tricky. All the buildings. Bringing the Jagdpanzer across here now. He's not on prioritized vehicles though, and reveals his position, firing at that infantry. Takes a couple of bazookas, has to back out now. Triple Jackson's coming down here, but Jagdpanzer had already pulled back. So yeah, very important for Paul not to play with all his Raketans right next to each other here. That's absolutely key. He's just asking to lose the game by doing that. Now that the Calliope's cooled down again. Gonna go for a second Jagdpanzer. Okay, interesting. Just mass tank destroyer warfare. But good, you know, aggression by the Sherman. Bootjack goes off, has to retreat. Pulls back at just the right time to avoid damage from the Jagdpanzer. Jagdpanzer over here, not fully repaired, has to be careful. Grenade out. Rangers should be able to beat these folks at this range. And Sherman coming through. Maybe Sherman acting as a bit of a bait. Calliope moving slightly more towards the center with eyes for the triple Raketans, it looks like. Here they come now. Sherman coming in from the other angle as well. And this is looking bad for the Raketans. It looks like the Raketans might have pushed forwards just far enough to avoid damage. Though Paul kind of retreating through the danger zone now. Sherman goes down, but so does a Jagdpanzer. Still got a Raketan up here. But Paul doesn't have a snare, so Sherman's circling around that. And now Jackson's going for the kill on the Shred HQ. We do have the second Jagdpanzer coming in now, though. Misses his first shot. Raketan trying to stay on the front lines, but gets decrewed by the HE Sherman and close. Now Jackson's turned their attention over to the Jagdpanzer. This is where not having any snares is causing Paul some issues here. Main gun crits one of the Jacksons, though. And takes it down, but the other Jackson comes in for the killing blow long range. A little bit lucky there from Cheese to get that kill, I feel. And now he's got the Raketan available for the recrew over here. Sherman pulls back. Can he finish the job on this Jackson here? Sherman has to come back in to try and save the day. Maybe could pop out some smoke. Phosphorus. Looks like he's going for it. Pops it out. But Paul's going to be able to finish the job on that Sherman. No! Somehow is still alive. I was not expecting that. Going for the emergency repairs on the Jackson. Firestorm cooldown at the moment. About to be ready to fire again though. He's on the road. Jackson speeding away to safety. What about the Sherman? Paul gets cold feet. Has to disengage. HQ did survive though. But Paul can build another tank though. He's so low on manpower. He's not able to do so. So yeah, you see Cheese capitalizing on Paul, keeping all his Raketans in the same position there. Drops the Stuka artillery in the center. Walking Stuka artillery. So Paul holds on to the VPs and is capping on the far side of those ogres. With the high veterancy sprinting around, making life much easier for Paul in terms of capping. Down here as well. Ogres do retreat in time. They're a little bit outmatched by the Vet 3 Rangers. Didn't drain much though. Was neutralizing that central VP for quite some time with the Rangers during that fight. A very tight VP game. The double MG overs though. Those Rangers dropping fast. He wants to get the cap off, but he just can't. Sherman coming forwards. Calliope on cooldown at the moment, so the double Raketans could be quite helpful. Sherman coming through to the center. Oh, he's going to take engine damage here. And Rakitten coming through from the base. Sherman could be in some trouble here. It takes a main gun crit too, can't even fire off the phosphorus to cover its retreat. And down it goes. Right as Cheese feels himself another Sherman. Double Kid's a little bit exposed now, and Calliope just about ready to fire again. Double MG Ober's on the run. Cheese does manage to sneak over to the side with his own sprinting squad. The Major doing some capping over there. And PauL going to be on the drain shortly. Rakitten through the center. Sherman having to spin around and get out of there. Might be going after that Rakitten, I imagine. PauL dodging forwards this time, and it works out well for him. Oh, maybe not. One rocket scattering like way off target there. Oh, and the last rocket finishing the job. PauL needs to dodge just a little bit further forwards there. Does decrew the 50 cal though. And Jackson being used actually connects. Got a kill there, it looked like. PauL doing some capping on the far left though. Jackson coming in, maybe looking to finish the job on the decrew Rakitten, and does so. Shooting just quite low there. Oh, and it goes down super long range to that vetted up Rakitten.
A medium tank was just lost.
Oh, but what did he do here? He left the capture circle. Looks like he's going to stick around for the neutralize. Oh, he might have left his retreat a tiny bit late here against the double AMG Obus.
Heavy machine gun team, ready for orders.
Oh, maybe not. And yeah, he didn't leave an over squad over here. Just left a Rakitten. Cows, what Cheese is trying to do to hold on to the VPs late game, but it's these highly vetted overs so tricky. Calliope into the center, going for the other Rakitten. There it goes. So PauL's lost all his Rakittens. He lost this one on the far flank to the Major with the artillery as well. So he's got no anti-tank anymore. The Sherman could do quite a lot of damage. Oh no, he lost the last Sherman. I forgot about that. Oh man. Cheese going for the kill on that decrew Rakitten. Ober's coming over to jam the capture. Double 50s in the center, and he does manage to kill that Rakitten. Oh wow, the bazookas actually finished the job on that decrewed Rakitten before he retreated. Really good idea there from Cheese. He's getting boxed out. Do have a Panzer IV out now from PauL. Interesting idea. Just to contend with this Vet 3 Jackson, but it's just one Vet 3 Jackson. If he has lost all his Rakittens now, so it could be quite tricky. He's pushing into the center with it here. We'll go after the 50 cal. Doesn't have the machine gun on the Panzer IV either. So he's relying on these main gun hits quite a lot. Grenade out, no dodge from PauL. Retreats now, but really took all the damage. Comes out to the far side though. Jackson's still in the center. Trying to get a bit of flank cooking with these Obers against the 50 cals, but they are in light cover. They do soak up a good chunk of damage. However, the Panzer IV does stop the squad going for the capture over there, and PauL going for the capture on the far side. 73 VPs left for Cheese, and here comes a Calliope close range. Maybe he could trigger his own mine and backfire on him there. Oh, dodges out to the side and does survive. And one of the 50 cals goes down to the Obus. And PauL jumping back in. He's got the vet healing. Manages to get the cap off. And he's going to stick around for the Faust on top of that as well. Slow down the Jackson. Could open up his Panzer IV to do some damage, though his Panzer IV also requiring repairs. He's staying in here. He's refusing to retreat. The 50 cal set up long range. Setting up now within range of the VP. PauL, though, didn't get suppressed. There's a lot of light cover there. Spinning around with the 50 to try and deal with the Obers frontally, though, but it's just way too much damage. Those vetted Obers destroy it outright. PauL on the retreat now, but could go down to the Thompsons. Oh, no run and gun at all. I thought he might chase to the edge of the capture circle. Jackson coming in on the suppressed Obers, looking for some crush action. Good idea. He got one or two models there. And these guys are suppressed. Staying under suppression because they're under fire. Jackson continuing to push and crush. Going in for another round. But oh, there's a fresh Raketen out for PauL. There's a 4 coming in. Amber on the front lines. Got a fresh Sherman here for Cheese though. Oh, but the Panzer IV finishes the job long range. Calliope coming in, but the Obers have already retreated. Panzer IV is rare exposed to the Sherman though. PauL switches its focus fire over to the Ambo, but misses that shot. Ambo jumps out and a main gun crit. Kitten has retreated. Panzer IV goes down.
Rounds have 10 points left. I say again,
10 VPs left for PauL. 9 left. Can he get on a VP and do something here? Getting talking some shit after PauL took shit at the start of the replay. And there we go. Drain out here. And yeah, GG. Well played by Cheese. You know, it's very hard to micro an army like that against what PauL had. He did it pretty well. A few of his Calliope barrages, like after the first like 2, were pretty horrible though. That's when he started to lose his grasp on the game quite badly. But PauL really playing into the hands of Calliope, constantly clumping his Raketens, getting them in trouble. And yeah, some good attacks though from Cheese with that triple Jackson push onto the KT on this side was really, really well done. Like the perfect scenario, no mines over here. Forced away the Raketens, just really well timed attack. And after that, you know, he just gutted his way through it. A very good game, this one. Anyway, guys, we'll wrap on that. If you like your game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye. Good luck.